This is such a great group of dealers and publishers. It's a great combination to have both the publishers and master printers presenting the work as well as the really important dealers who know print. It's going to be the best print fair.
Hey Jim, it's great to see you. We are thrilled that Center Street Studio is coming to the Baltimore Fine Art Print Fair, it's coming up so fast, I can't even believe it. Can you tell us a little bit about you and something about the press?
Sure. I'm the founder and director of Center Street Studio, located in Milton, Massachusetts, which is just 6 miles south of beautiful downtown Boston. And I cut my teeth as a printmaker, studying with Stanley William Hayter at Atelier 17 in Paris way back in 1980-81. And then later studied with Gabor Peterdy while pursuing my MFA at Yale in painting and printmaking. And fun fact, Gabor Peterdy worked with Bill Hayter in Paris in 1930, and I worked with him in 1980. So wrap your head around that.
Well, I like to say that all roads lead back to Hayter.
He's sort of the granddaddy of the modern print in a way,
Yep.
Right? I'm grateful for this opportunity to return to Baltimore, by the way, because I did it the last three Baltimore print fairs when it was at the museum. It's really important for us to be out there with the people, showing the works that we produce with artists, because that's the best way for us, to really present them. And it's been, 2 years since we've been able to do that effectively. I think we're all pretty grateful for the opportunity to do it again. For me, the experience of presenting the works that I publish with artists in person is really important, because I'm not working with the same old suspects. I'm working with emerging artists, young artists, mid-career artists, and trying to be part of this process as they develop their careers. And I think the most exciting and challenging part of what we do, at least in terms of the publishers who are involved in the fair, the relationships that we establish with the artists, and then how can we shepherd them into a process that they're not familiar with to produce work that is meaningful to their studio practice, but is also meaningful print. So how do we translate the ideas from their primary medium into printmaking? And that's our job, that's our challenge, and it's probably the most exciting thing that we do. And I started this shop 38 years ago, which I can't believe, as a means to support myself as an artist. And the challenge was to balance my time in my own studio practice as well as the work that I do with artists. And of course, the studio kept pulling, wanting more attention, and it's been this struggle. But it's been a rewarding struggle, because the relationships I've built and the kind of work that I've achieved with the artists, there's a certain level of satisfaction. It's been described like midwiving this art, this new work into existence that wouldn't have happened without the connection between me and these artists. And to me, that's what it's all about. And so being able to present it in that context in person at a fair like Baltimore is super key.
Well said.
I did my best.
The surprise question that I've asked folks is, if I'm an artist and I'm interested in making work that Center Street is helping me make and publishing, how does one approach you? Do you have a process?
That's a really great question, because sometimes there are introductions from other artists, but mostly, especially in the beginning, when I was looking for younger artists who were just emerging, people coming right out of art schools, for instance, I go to the various public art spaces, things like White Columns, a drawing center, stuff like that, and then see work that really hits me. And as soon as the gears in my head start grinding away, saying, if I did this, this, and this with this artist, they could make a really good print. And then I contact them and I say, I saw your show. Are you interested in making prints? And they inevitably say yes. And then I invite them to the shop and we get at it. And that is really great. That's pretty exciting. And then there are other artists that I want to pursue. People like John Walker, for instance, was someone that I've always respected, loved his work. And I invited him to come in, and he was very generous to come and work with me because he's worked with many print publishers himself over the years. Then the artists, they're sort of brought to me. I don't do much contract work. Contract printing, for those who don't know, is when you, as a master printer, I'm hired as a hired gun to work with an artist, and then there's a third-party publisher paying for the whole process. So I was approached by a publisher in New York to work with John Wilson. He was a Boston artist that I always was interested in working with, and it was just a great opportunity. So I pursued that project. It was about 6 months of my life. But then when we were done with that, I invited him to come and work with me directly, and he did. And that's when we produced that fantastic Martin Luther King print together in the shop. So people do solicit me in a variety of ways, and it's pretty much me and a studio assistant. So I can't service everyone I would like to because there's only these two hands.
No kidding. What's your specialty?
I focus mostly in intaglio printing, monotype projects. I do no lithography and no silkscreen. I respect those mediums immensely, but there's only so much you in this life.
Yeah, I think you have to choose, really. I mean, it's sort of Sophie's choice, but you do have to choose. And of course, I would always choose intaglio. I'll say it. It's my favorite.
Well, my own personal dealer in New York is Eric Morlot, who's the grandson of Fernand Morlot, the great lithography publisher. And when I was showing with him, he said, James, I would love to publish prints by you. And we had this sort of running, sort of rivalry about which is the better art, the greater art, etching or lithography. And so he said, James, I would like to publish you. Let's go. When do we start? And he goes, well, I'm going to publish a lithograph by you. And I'm like, hell no, you're not. I'm not doing a lithograph. And then he said, I'm going to send you to the Morlot workshop in Paris to make lithographs. And I said, oh, I'll be right there. I'll just go. Go, let's go. And then we did. I actually produced six panels they were triptychs, but they were terrific and very successful as far as I know. He owned the edition, and I don't,
But you would get printer's proofs, right? Or artist proofs?
Yeah, I do. I have 10 sets of artist proofs of those.
Are you selling them?
They've been in a drawer for since 1994. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to present the work that I do with artists again in person, especially in Baltimore, where there is a vibrant collecting art community, as well as proximity to some pretty important curators who I'm sure will all be there because Ann Shafer will make sure they're all there.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Well, I think people are itching. I mean, Baltimore really, I have some great clients in Baltimore that I've developed over the years, and especially through the previous iterations of this fair. Many of them have come to me in other fairs, especially in New York, since they've been, deprived of their own fair for so many years. And now we get to bring it all to them and get to see them all. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I have said it before, but I will reiterate that the Baltimore Museum had a print fair from 1990 to 2017, and I was the director of the last 3 iterations of it. Since that time, it has been not happening, and I've been waiting and watching and hoping that I could sort of swoop in and take it over. So this is a fair that's not related to the museum, but features all of your favorite people.
You seize the opportunity. Now, I'm telling you, this is such a great group of dealers and publishers. It's a great combination to have both the publishers and master printers presenting the work, as well as the really important dealers who know prints. That's going to be the best print fair.
Yeah, it's been interesting gathering all of the vendors together because, lots of people were like, we're not ready, COVID, we don't know what's happening. And so it was like a tossed salad. Oh my God, this is such a cool spread from emerging to, Gemini and you. Like it's going to be great. Jim, I can't tell you how excited I am to see you in 4 short weeks. It's going to be awesome.
It sure is. So looking forward to it. Thanks so much.